Okay.
All right. And now come out of our closed session. At this time, I will ask if there's any public comment. Public comment? Hearing none, I will adjourn the Finance and Administration Committee and want to move right into the regular board meeting.
I think we can get started. I ask everybody stand and join me for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'd like to call to order the regular board meeting for the Oceana County Board of Commissioners for May 23rd, 2024. And I ask for approval of the minutes from May 9th, 2024. A motion.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Moved by Mr. Beggs, second by Mr. Hardy. Is there any questions or comments?
Did you want a roll call?
Oh, yes, would you do the roll call, please?
Mr. Erickson?
Here.
Mr. Morse?
Here.
Mr. Beggs?
Here.
Mr. Hardy?
Here.
Mr. Walker?
Here, thank you. Approval of minutes, moved by Mr. Beggs, second by Mr. Hardy. Any questions on them? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Conflict of interest disclosure regarding agenda items. Do any board members want to declare a conflict of interest? Hearing none, changes to the agenda. The only change to the agenda is to take no action on 2024-59, the maintenance contract.
120-24-62 as well.
The maintenance contract.
No.
The employee picnic one as well.
Pardon me?
No action on the employee picnic one too. I mean, there's no motion on there anyway.
62. That one. No action on that
Oh,
one.
no action. Well, yeah, we'll take action on that. I want to leave that one on there.
Oh, okay.
I want the administrator to do a survey, and whichever one comes out, we'll implement. Because if we do the picnic, she'll have to start the process for it. But just 59, no action. Any other changes to the agenda? Approval of the agenda with changes. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion, Hardy.
Mr. Hardy, do we have a support?
I'll support.
Mr. Beggs, motion by Mr. Hardy, support by Mr. Beggs. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Public comment? Hearing no public comment. Mr. Beggs, unlimited power supply, UPS repair.
Right, this motion's gonna be changed a little bit from how it's written, so it's actually, so anyway, motion 2024-60, approving the repairs to the uninterruptible power supply at the Sheriff's Department in the amount not to exceed $32,000 to be awarded to Cortez and Sons, and to allow the administrator to make the necessary adjustments.
Support.
Moved by Mr. Beggs, support by Mr. Erickson. Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Beggs?
Yes.
Mr. Erickson?
Yes.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Mr. Morse?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes. And Mr. Beggs, thank you for your comments on that. You probably understand more about it than I do, about the technical part and stuff. And Mr. Hardy, resolution on Mental Health Awareness Month 2024-61.
Motion 2024-61, adopt resolution 24-11, recognizing May as Mental Health Awareness Month.
Do we have a support? Do we have a support?
I will support it to put it on the table.
Okay. Moved by Mr. Hardy, support by Mr. Erickson. Any discussion before the vote?
Yeah, first of all, it was drafted, I see that in paragraph 4, it's County of Mason. recognizes that stigma. I've had a couple conversations in regards to this in a non-support way, and I think maybe we need to explore it a little bit more. I can't accept it as written. There might be some other issues within it. I know that mental health is an extremely important issue, especially after our pandemic, and we do need to support our department, as best we can. But, Mr. Walker, I've also learned that you do not have the representation on that board as was to be on the larger board. If we all knew there are two boards that we're speaking of when it comes to mental health, and I was not aware of the other board until Robert and I started to explore it. A tremendous amount of dollars are spent on mental health in Michigan, and part of what I saw happening, mental health dollars even went to Michigan State University to go out through the extension. And what I've seen is there's been perhaps not the focus that should be there and necessary. As I had asked Kevin Hughes this morning about our health department's participation in our schools, we also have mental health in our schools too. I think quite a bit of the dollars spent on mental health in Michigan need to be pinpointed better than what we're employing in it now. I've had some personal experience with the store of late, and I can't say as though I could give any glowing reports either. So I just wanted to throw that out the board. I think it needs to be polished a little bit, and perhaps Mr. Walker could expand a little bit for us on the position that the board chair woulda, shoulda, coulda had. We had representation on that board. I don't think anyone in this room was aware of also.
Yeah, Mr. Erickson, the chairman of the board for many, many years was Jim Prince from New Era. Jim has stepped down, but he's still a board member. Larry Van Sickle from Oceana County is actually the chair of the board now, and he has been on the board for, I think, 22 or 23 years. And the other board member from Oceana County is Kay Singh from Hesperia. We just reappointed Kay. Kay is a very, very good board member. And I'm the final board member from Oceana County. And each one of the counties has a commissioner, county commissioner on the board. So we have 4 members. So.
And then the other board, the West Michigan.
That is the West Michigan Mental Health Board.
And Seabolt was on that for a while, right?
Seabolt was on the board down in Muskegon, which is that's the one that we didn't get what do they call that? That's the one we didn't get the notification sent out, right?
The appointment for.
Yeah, for appointments to that. It's in Muskegon in the oversight board. It starts with an R.
So, yeah, it's for the substance abuse.
Yeah, but that's strictly substance abuse board.
But the budget, I'd love to.
That's the one that I'm on the oversight board for. That it's West Michigan wide. It's in 60 to 70 millions of dollars. It's amazing what comes in.
And see, I was never truly aware of how many millions of dollars are being spent on top of what we had already in the system. And the director's compensation is?
The director for the West Michigan Community Mental Health Board is $196,400 a year. Dr. Williams. Shocked me too.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it more for the clients than I'm looking at it for the administration on this support is what I'm looking at. I get it, exactly what you're saying. Been there, done that.
I just wanted the rest of the board to be aware that there was an oversight board on top of this, and the compensation dollars are just phenomenal. And the services that are rendered, that's where we perhaps are lacking a little bit. I've been familiar with mental health in Oceana County now for about 60 years, and I remember the old days and what we have now. I understand what the resolution does, and I am in support of anything we can do in the mental health field for our residents and for the people that know, because truly the people that need mental health, they're struggling too. So I understand. I get it.
Any other comments?
I think, I don't doubt that there's mental health issues out there, 100%. I mean, I got personal experience with that as well, and it's, that's not why I hesitate with it. It's just more kind of the conclusions that you draw from there, I guess, is where I hesitate with it, and what creates mental health issues. And there's multiple reasons, but to me, I mean, the point of, like, when I voted for it in the past was, what I'm supporting is mental health awareness. Yep, that's why I support it, is the mental health awareness, because there needs to be awareness that there's mental health issues. The other stuff that's in here, like, it's a cookie cutter. I mean, it's what we do every year. You know, it's the same language. Doesn't mean we shouldn't change it, but I want to recognize May as Mental Health Awareness Month. I wish everything else was almost out of there, you know, and just keep it simple.
Well put, Phil.
That's
Kim?
The root cause of many mental health issues, I don't think have been properly identified. And that's the worldview issue that I run into. The other thing is, what does this do? This is virtue signaling. Our passing a resolution, who's going to read the minutes and go, oh, I didn't know it was mental health awareness. So, it comes down to, and I'm not upset that it's on the agenda. I'm not upset with the discussion we've had, but for the time that we've invested in it, even if it was just an up and down vote, what does it do? What does it matter? So yeah, we can shine our nails that, yeah, we passed a resolution recognizing mental health awareness, but it's had zero impact. So that's why I struggle with things like this. If we're not in the trenches doing something, and probably many of us are in our personal life, but other than sitting on CMH board and making sure they get their cut of our budget every year, passing this resolution doesn't improve the situation for anybody. So I'm just not into shining my nails on something that doesn't do anything.
Craig, any comment?
No, I think most everything's been said already. And I guess if it is passed, obviously, Phil, the wording needs to be changed to represent Oceana County.
Okay. I think it's time Mr. Hardy, we'll call for the vote. We do have a motion in a second, right?
Right.
Let's call for the vote.
Mr. Hardy,
Yes.
Mr. Erickson,
yes.
Mr. Morse,
No.
Mr. Beggs,
No.
Mr. Walker,
Yes. Respective of the very valuable comments that were made.
And the correction of the word Mason.
Mr. Morris, the employee picnic.
Is there some language?
Just that we're gonna give the option to the employees to have the administrator check with the employee to see if the option was, if we could work out July 5th as a pass date for them or have the picnic.
Okay, Chairman Walker, I make a motion to have Ms. Bayard check with the department heads about making July 5th a day off in honor of our employees and to show them our appreciation in place of the employee picnic.
Well put. Any other discussion?
Well, and you know, I kind of hit the nail on the head, you know, until you're the guy writing a check on
Oh,
Friday.
second.
Hmm?
I'll
Sorry.
support.
I need a second.
Support. Yeah, you know, and until you're the guy that's, you know, there's two sides to a check. There's the front and the back, and it's often very important. Most people have lost sight of who signs what side. But when your name is on the front, bottom right, that means a whole lot more than when you sign the back of it. And I've been raised to look closely at the front of the check and whose name's on the top line. That's one of those days that we need to express our appreciation for our employees, definitely. The picnic we've gone to, we've been there, we've enjoyed that. But July 5th is one of those days that your employees will definitely appreciate that a whole lot more in their families' lives than having a hot dog out on the lawn. So if we can alleviate a couple issues, and Mr. Walker had brought this suggestion up, I think we'll get a lot more traction out of giving that July 5th.
And I would like to say that whatever we do, whichever one is chosen, it is a one-time, non-precedent,
Not policy.
non-precedent move by the county board.
So I'm gonna vote for it, in favor of it, but I wanna make sure it's very clear for anybody that's listening, that it's not, I am very supportive of our staff, and
Yep.
man, these guys work their tails off, and they deserve us to show our appreciation. We just have to be cognizant of and aware of, there's people that work for private businesses that they gotta use PTO to have that day off. And I wanna make sure that we, you know, that's out there, and that's something that we consider when we, whenever we make those decisions.
Well, and the guy that signs the bottom right of the front of the check, like Mr. Hardy, Mr. Beggs, Mr. Watt, you know, it costs us money. It definitely costs us money to give paid time off, and that's what this is PTO. So,
Is that for non-union only?
That's not non-union, we cannot do it for
can't
the
mess-
union.
So my question is, can you add that in the motion,
Oh, yeah.
just to make that clear?
For non-union employees.
Yep, so I'd like to amend my motion to include that this is for non-union employees only.
I support the
Are we ready to vote? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Morse?
Yes.
Mr. Beggs?
Yes.
Mr. Erickson?
yes.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, thank you. Mr. Hardy, payment of claims.
Okay. Mr. Walker, board approval for board approval of accounts payable and release of funds for May 23rd, 2024. Ambulance fund total $1,155.75. Shelby Township Community Park fund total $40,026.10. Indigent defense fund total $45,063.59. Canine fund $100. Department of Veterans Affairs, $18,134.62. Technology and Innovation Fund, $4,168.77. Capital Project Equipment Replacement Fund total, $774.13. Building Department Fund total, $17,185.04. For a general fund total of $524,492.75, and a grand total of $651,901.73.
Do we have a support?
Morse.
Moved by Mr. Hardy, support by Mr. Morris for the payment of claims. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Mr. Morse?
Yes.
Mr. Erickson?
Yes.
Mr. Beggs?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes. Reports from the commissioners. Mr. Morris?
Yeah, we're late, so it's real briefly, awesome to drive through here on the way to the meeting today through Shelby area. So many construction things. I mean, it wasn't awesome being stopped on the road, but for road construction, but just to see the roads improving like they are. The housing project, they got asphalt poured over on Shelby Acres. Houses are, for sale. Frontier's coming in and running fiber optic internet here in Hardin and Shelby. I mean, just,
Years.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I didn't know that, so, and Mears too, so. Just did want to give you an update, so Paula, Tracy and I met with Judge Middlebrooks last Thursday, and, Magistrate Sandoval, was that her last name?
Adriana.
Adriana.
Facundo.
And, you know, the request that he brought up, bottom line, what I recommended instead of the direction that I was gonna take, we were gonna take as personnel committee for now, is to wait until next budget season and address those requests and concerns. Then, of course, we were full supportive of the sobriety court, you know, him looking into that. I fully support, I think Mr. Erickson agrees with it, I won't speak for him, but we support the idea of having a recorder, a court recorder, or reporter, whatever, however you call that. But we'll just look at it in the next budget season is where I left it with the judge. And then as far as the 35 to 40 hours, I said that's just part of a bigger issue we have here at the courthouse, that we have some 35 hours and some 40, and we got to come up with a solution at budget time that encompasses all that. So that's where we left it there. And then my last thing is I regret that I missed the historical tour in Hart here last weekend. Man, I bet, or 2 weekends ago maybe now, but it must have been
Last Saturday.
Last Saturday. My son's regional track meet, but sounds like it was a nice event. That's all I have.
Thank you. Paul?
Went to both Hesperia this week for the Newfield Town Board meeting, and went to the Crystal Town Board meeting. Both townships are moving along well. Dump days have gone extremely well. There's been a lot of trash hauled, especially in Mears last Saturday. I couldn't believe how much trash is going in dumpsters, but it's good to have the cleanup thing going on. Very good. Fair season's begun. We're already getting into the harness racing with the state, getting applications in there. The Historical Society this June, be aware, you know, the 15th, we're going to have a dedication of that new red barn in downtown Mears that was provided to us by the Lathers Family Trust, Bill Lathers. Big news everywhere. We recounted the things on Tuesday the Historical Society's accomplished in the last year, and I really feel good about the rebound that I'm feeling now, having people engaged as they had been. Also keep your eyes open in the Echo tomorrow. You'll see a good report that of our medical care. We had our awards presented last week. Mr. Daines was there, Mr. Van Sickle was there along with the employees. It was a very nice appreciation of the years of experience that we've gotten in our medical care. And tomorrow I'll be attending the men's group at the medical care in the morning, engaged with them. It's good to be able to open the doors and let people in and out of that facility, you know, because we were closed down for quite so long, and it's good to see some new faces and some new activities there, very much so. I think that covers me pretty good. Bob and I'll go to Cadillac next Tuesday to listen to Mr. Hughes.
Oh, no, we won't.
Next Friday.
Oh, no, we won't.
You're gone?
I'm gone.
Bob won't be going next Friday. If one of you guys wants to ride with me to go up and experience District 10 board meeting, I'd be happy to take any one of you up. It is one of our largest budget items that we have, a tremendous budget, but Kevin's done a great job. I was glad to see Kevin here today, and like Bob had said earlier, the biggest function that the board does is they find an administrator that they have confidence in, and Kevin has been a really good, level skipper of that ship.
Thank you. Tim?
Nothing to report today.
Craig?
Real quick, attended a 911 meeting last week, and one of the things they brought up was the electric forest. I guess, well, no, and they're setting that up.
Oh, yeah.
My understanding is Double J gave them a location in one of the basement areas to set up, and I guess they've been in a tent and a trailer and some other stuff. They're also doing something else that would actually combine calls, for help to come in, to go to that dispatch, I'm gonna call it a sub-dispatch center in the basement, then would be handled internally. So they'll have kind of a geo fencing on it that would allow them, it's within the event, it's not within the event, type thing, and they're setting that up right now. And there's a lot of agencies involved with that. I'm just amazed at all the work that's been done. But I think it'll help, everybody. So, and 911 is assigning dispatchers to that. So, the normal 911 center will operate the same, but they'll have dispatchers at them.
And we're talking 73,000 now, Robert?
Yeah, it's a fair amount of number, I know. But that's, you know,
I can tell you, just in passing, there's one agency they haven't talked about it, and it's in their jurisdiction. That's not my problem, though. Thank
that's
you,
all I
Craig.
have.
Thank you, Craig. Couple things. Tracy showed me the preliminary drawings for the health department, building inspector's
Yep.
office that she has up there. She gave Kevin a copy of those today, and Brian has been working with it. The building inspector's office, you know, is all on board for it.
Oh, great.
And
Look at it.
I told Tracy that if Randy Miller and the inspectors are on board, and Brooke is on board for it, and the health department is on board, I don't see any reason why we, unless any of you wanna get involved with the actual part of it, I think we just need to move forward with it and move them over there. I think it's great, it's going right along, that'll be good for all, and it's gonna free up space over at the other building. The scales update, Joel McCormick had done the work for us, you know, and got us preliminary costs and everything, and that scale is probably gonna be $110,000 or so. But, you know, when we look at how much money we subsidize that transfer station to every year, it's gonna be at the most a 2-year payback, you know, when we get so, I would like to move forward with that, but before we move forward with that, I think that, Phil and I need to have a talk with Ferry Township because they own the property. Tracy reached out to American Classic and they are on board with it on the preliminary design. And I think the best way for us to do this, instead of hiring a bunch of engineers and getting involved with this, is release bids for the scale and a design-built installation. Let the engineer, let the scale companies get their own design-built system, you know, and do it and look at it, you know. I'm generally not a design-built person, but in this case, I wouldn't know who to call to tell you how to design the testing for a scale. They know that.
I'd rather have the scale guys, yeah.
Yeah, just have the scale company do a design build. And I think it does, we do have to put it back out for bids, you know, because the bids originally, the quotes originally, they were not bids, went to American Classic. So we will work on that, but I think we better wait till we talk to Ferry Township. I would not want Ferry Township to read it in the paper that we're releasing bids on something that they don't know about. And the last thing on Tuesday afternoon, I had a meeting with, Dr. Hovey Williams and with Josh Schneider, the #2 person at Community Mental Health. And Josh is actually on the Lake County opiate board and working, and they have not developed anything yet. Mason County has not done any development yet. Community Mental Health has said that they will reach out to get a series of things that each one of the counties could do standalone themselves with the opiate money, or if they wanted to combine with community mental health for counseling and stuff. Does anybody have any objections to us letting them move forward at their pace and see what they can come up with for them? And the reason being is Dr. Hovey knows couple of the people on the state board personally.
No, I think that's,
If I could piggyback
Yeah.
onto that a little bit. I found out at conference that, cause I was asking around, what are you using those opioid funds for? I mean, it's really, it's a stickler. I mean, you're really stuck to certain things. And a few of the administrators said, this isn't our area of expertise. We don't get into all this. I found out that 2 of our counties in the District 10 Health Department are contracting with the District 10 Health Department to utilize those funds for all of the, however they're doing it, and letting them take care of it.
We discussed quite a bit, and it hasn't happened yet, but what's gonna happen is the feds are gonna go like this with that money if we don't come up with programs and start spending that money. You know, they're gonna leave that money sit there. What was our first year's amount? $30,000 or $40,000?
I do believe so. I believe it was close to 40,000.
But over the period of the 18 years, it's immense. So,
We fund our obligations to
District
District 10
10.
with it, or CMH.
well, and one thing we know we can't do is we can't fund the nurse at the jail, which is a shame, because that's a thing we can't. But if nobody has any objections, I will get a hold of them, and then they would like to sit down when they get preliminary things, sit down with our administrator and our board that we have, our appointed board. So, and let's see where it goes from there. It was a pretty good conversation that we had. You know, any public comments? Any other comments from commissioners or the staff?
And getting back to this resolution that we had today again, and I can hear my dad, what he'd call this thing, but with even Kevin, District 10, we passed a resolution a year ago against this statewide septic code thing as 10 counties. And then we brought it here and we passed it as Oceana County, and we forwarded all that on. And here we are coming up to like the 4th bill rewrite on this deal. Whether or not, you know, the realtors want to be known as the septic police, or however this stuff is going, we can't do it. Physically, we just won't be able to do it.
Look at where it's driven from, that legislation.
It's from people that are on public municipal systems.
Yeah, it's all southeast Michigan.
So, you know, this and what Kevin said is totally real. When Mark Hill retired, we're at a big disadvantage with our sanitarians right now. And the food service inspections right now, we can't hire enough help to get these jobs done.
Well, I'm wondering what they're going to do, because in the past, District 10 Health Department has brought food service people in from several counties at the setup for the electric force.
Yeah.
Because they have to test all of those wells. There's 10 8-inch wells out there that furnish the water for the electric force. And they all have to be tested, and then every individual vendor has to be tested, because a lot of them come from out of state. I don't know how they, you know.
And it's Kevin's thing.
And that was Mark Hill, but Mark had a lot of help come in for other places.
Yeah. And now the guy that we've got in Oceana County is Matt, and Matt should be very good with this. He's a young guy. It's pretty excited about being down here working for us. His last name's Fournier. He's from Ludington, and he is Tom Osborne's son-in-law.
He'll do a good job.
He's a really, we got the right guy again.
Yeah.
He's not the overzealous type, is he?
No, he's just a good common sense kind of guy,
Well, I think I told you, he came in and did the well and septic inspections on the house that Ethan and I are building. He had no idea who I was, and I wasn't about to tell him who I was, and that I was on the health department board. He was phenomenal. He was great.
Good.
He said, you know, it's one of those, I said, you want us to leave it open? I had all of the drain pipes laid out and the stone around them. I said, do you want us to leave it open so you can come back and then you know, you're gonna, or I said, are you gonna come back and inspect it after we get it covered up? I'll leave everything staked off and leave an inspection area. And he said, that would be a waste of both of our time. He said, it's all installed and it's installed property. He said, why would I come back again?
Common sense.
Good, yeah.
I think we can adjourn. Thank you for a difficult day.
I have a
Oh, I'm
couple
sorry.
things that I wanted
Oh,
to
okay.
just point out. One, we have the preventative maintenance, or, the building tour for animal control at
Gris-
airport and Griswold building for June 13th, right after the meeting.
Perfect.
If that works for everybody.
Tim, I picked that because I knew you had a commitment
All right.
the end of June.
And the only other thing I had was that we have 2 weeks between meetings, so you will not be getting a packet next week.
3 weeks, you mean?
Yeah, there's 3 weeks in between, so you won't be getting a packet next week.
That's why I'm gonna go take care of my Memorial Day things that I can't get up there to take care of on Memorial
Sure,
Day.
you want to miss all that reading.
Darn.
I can send you some stuff if you
Oh,
want.
yeah.
I'll tell you what,
Well,
I'll forward the next, community mental health packet to you. The one that I had for Tuesday night's meeting was 184 pages.
Good. I'll give you the email address, it's tbags.
well, and
By the way, I want, we're adjourned, but I want to tell my fellow commissioners to be careful. With the new software program and everything they're doing at Shelby Bank, somebody at Shelby Bank